Fever dreams. Have you ever had one? Those strange dreams you get while you're lying feverish on your bed just trying to sleep it all away? Yeah, those ones. Well, how about this question? Have you ever read a book so strange that when you thought back on it, you doubted that you even read it in the first place? Maybe you read the book while you were really young, or maybe you were sick and delirious when you read it, or in a lot of cases, like really sleepy. Like, have you ever stayed up really late reading a great book because you were just so engrossed in it that you couldn't put it down? Well, welcome to Fever Dream Books. Books that you only remember the weirdest parts of, and books that you hardly remember anything about except, well, they were really odd. So today I've compiled a list of 5 books that I've read that feel like they weren't real because either I stayed up too late reading them, or, they were actually just straight up strange books. So the first book on the list is Crenshaw by Catherine Applegate. Here's a quick description about it. Jackson and his family have fallen on hard times. There's no more money for rent, and not much for food either. His parents, his little sister, and their dog may have to live in their minivan. Again. But Crenshaw's a cat. He's large, he's outspoken, and he's imaginary. And he has come back into Jackson's life to help him. But is an imaginary friend enough to save his family from losing everything? So from this short description, you can already probably see that this book really tripped me out. I read this about like 4 years back, and I low-key couldn't remember much about this until I started doing research for this video. The strange aspects of the main character having a friend, coupled with the fact that I stayed up really late reading this book. All of that really distorted my memory of this book. Now, I remember really liking it. You could even look at my Goodreads profile and see that I rated it 5 stars. Like, I didn't even give this random Percy Jackson book 5 stars. Alright, that might have been a skill issue to be honest. But anyway, for the longest time, I hardly remembered why I liked that book so much. Like, I hardly remember it. And in fact, I'm still not too sure, but I do have a clue on that. But first, let's move on to the next book here. This book is Knights of the Borrowed Dark by Dave Rudden. Here's a quick description. Dennison Hardwick has always believed orphans are just kids without parents, nothing magical about it. But when a mysterious man arrives at Crossscaper Orphanage to take him to a long-lost aunt, Dennison's world is upended. Attacked by shadowy monsters on the journey, he discovers an ancient order of knights who battle these creatures, and that he has a connection to them. But as Dennison is drawn deeper into the world, he begins to question whether joining them is his destiny or a betrayal of everything his family sacrificed to protect him. Alright, so this book kind of creeped out 13/14-year-old me, and I was not expecting it to be so dark. And you might be looking at the cover and be like, it's pretty obvious based on how this looks. And I'd say to that, look at the cover of the one I got from the library. Yeah, way different. I was like, me see sword cool, me read. Dude, I was not ready to be absolutely traumatized by this book. But I'm half joking though, because again, I really love this book. With its scary monsters and dark power aspects, I really enjoyed this. But whenever I think back on it, I wonder if I made up some of the parts of it. But moving on, we got another really weird one, and this is Under Their Skin by Margaret Peterson Haddix. Here's a quick description. Nick and Aaron's mom is getting remarried, and the 12-year-old twins are skeptical when she tells them their lives won't change much. Well, yes, they'll have to move, and they'll have a new stepfather, stepbrother, and stepsister. But mom tells them not to worry, they won't ever have to meet their step-siblings. This news puzzles Nick and Aaron, so the twins set out on a mission to find out who these kids are, and why they're being kept hidden. So, I'm gonna be honest here, pretty fair and simple book description, if I do say so myself. But, yeah, this book was wild. 101% not what I was expecting. And without giving major spoilers for this book, let's just say things got weird about halfway through the book. I distinctly remember just reading one page and flipping over to the next, and it was like a brand new book, and I was just not expecting it. And low-key, this was a fever dream moment. Now, there's actually a sequel to this book, but I never read it because I just wanted to keep this book's weirdness forever remembered in my mind. So the last few books on this list have been more of a shock about the book itself and the memories it carried. But this next book here points back to what I was talking about at the beginning of the video, and that is reading a book instead of sleeping. And this book is none other than Loser by Jerry Spinelli. Here's a quick description. Just like other kids, Zinkoff rides his bike, hopes for snow days, and wants to be like his dad when he grows up. But Zinkoff also raises his hand with all the wrong questions, trips over his own feet, and falls down with laughter over the word like jabip. He doesn't know he's not like everybody else, and one winter night, Zinkoff's differences show that any name can someday become hero. So, on a surface level, this book looks like a pretty normal middle grade book. And okay, actually it is just your average middle grade book, but hold on, hear me out. There's this weird storyline that takes place at the end that's literally written like a fever dream. And put that with reading the book in one sitting past 1 a.m. and yeah, dude, that was a weird book. I remember having weird dreams after reading it, and then waking up the next morning and being like, I have no idea what I just read, but I loved it. So yeah, that was an odd book. Good job, Spinelli. So the final book here is literally the definition of a fever dream book. We've looked at 4 pretty weird books that I've read, but this last one here has got to be the weirdest book, and I sometimes doubt I even read it. This next book here was wild. Like, it actually twisted my mind to the point of no return. Okay, that sounds a little weird, but okay. Anyway, introducing Minecraft The End by Catherine M. Valent. Oh goodness, I forgot to look up how to pronounce that last name before this video. My bad.
Catherine M. Valente.
Anyways, yeah, Minecraft book. Well, let's get to the description really quick. For as long as they can remember, the twin Endermen, Finn and Mo, have lived in the mysterious land of the End. They explore ancient ruins under the watchful gaze of the mighty Ender Dragon. They have everything they need in the End ship they call home, and know everything there is to know about their world. Or so they think, until the strangers from another dimension arrive. Caught off guard, the twins are trapped in the middle of a war between the Endermen and the humans, with the future of their home at stake. A Minecraft book is the trippiest book you've ever read? Yup. This isn't your usual like, we're stuck in Minecraft, I'm Steve, let's save the world type of Minecraft book. I just went through like 10 different accents right there. No way. This is a Minecraft story told from an Enderman's perspective. And I'm gonna be really honest here, this book was whack. The problem about making a video like this is I really don't want to spoil anything, especially for a book this good. So, you're gonna have to take my word for it, alright? Trust me, bro. Actually, no, just read the book. You'll not regret it. This book is written with like a creepy type of atmosphere, and with the wildest twists and turns. You would never expect this from a random Minecraft book. And just like the 4 previous books, I absolutely love this one. This one is in fact my favorite from this list, and this is definitely due for a reread. So, why is this the case? I mean, I'm sure a book or movie came to your mind while I was listing these 5 Fever Dream books. Do you look back at that book with fondness, or are you weirded out that you ever liked that in the first place? I think in my case, when something is extremely out of the ordinary, or like I was just not expecting it, I end up liking it more rather than disliking it. So I think that's why these Fever Dream books are just so important to me, and even more now as I look back and just remember all the strangeness that I read back in the day. So my question is, have you ever read a book like this? So I hope this video just made you remember a book you read that was just so weird that you kind of doubt yourself that you even read it or read it right. But yeah, what books have you guys read that were like Fever Dream books? I would really like to know what you guys have to say about that. And anyway, that's it for me. Peace.